This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is Not America's Sweetheart, JVN. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane. This is the baddest black belt, Janai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your king, J.R. Lindsey King JR. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with King J.R. Lindsey. How are you, JR?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How you feeling?
I'm good as well. Can you tell us where the King will be next, event-wise?
By the time this comes out, we'll be past the most recent event, being tomorrow the 13th. It's going to be Berwyn Blitz, and I'm going to be defending my Wrestle League Proven Championship in a fatal four-way against Disco Ray, Jesus De Safio, and Alfonso Gonzalez. By the time this comes out, people will have time to buy tickets to my next event, which will be the anniversary show, Wrestle League Presents Anniversary 14, March 14th, Saturday at the Berwyn Eagles Club, and I will be defending my Proven Championship.
Already calling the retain on tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I like to manifest, you know what I'm saying?
I do. And where can we find you on social media and your merchandise?
You can find my merchandise exclusively on my clothing brand website, GSABYJR.com. You can follow our pages everywhere at GSABYJR. You can find my music on all major streaming platforms, ranging from Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. And, yeah, man, everything is on the up and up right now, brother.
Right, and you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media and merchandise will be in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox. Alright, let's get into it. You work for Wrestle League. Tell us about your relationship with the company.
Well, what's so special about Wrestle League? Wrestle League is the place that I actually learned how to wrestle. I started training with Wrestle League back in 2018, and I started literally the same summer that I graduated high school.
And, you mentioned your last, your most recent title of defense. But you did run into a little bit of trouble in your last title of defense against Seneca Sunshine, no?
Excuse me?
Well, I mean, the way that, you wrestled Seneca Sunshine the last time for your proven title.
I'm having a hard time understanding what you're talking about.
You made a bet with Seneca Sunshine, and she won the bet, and,
No, I got that part. Yeah, you lost me when you said I struggled.
No, I didn't say that you struggled, but there was maybe, some might say, controversy when it came to, the way you won.
Okay, let me ask you something, brother. At the end of that match, whose hand got raised?
Yours did.
Yours did. Okay. At the end of that match, who got pinned?
Seneca.
So 1 + 1 = 2. So what does that tell you?
meaning that you won.
Amen, brother. See, this is the problem when people say I have a hard time beating people. When people use the word like struggle. Do you think a man of my caliber, of my genius, and of my strength and capabilities would have a hard time beating Seneca Sunshine, the shuck tooth sucker?
Well, I didn't mean struggle in the sense that you had struggle beating her. I meant struggle in the fact that you kind of got coerced into the match.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Now we're speaking the justice because you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, I got cornered. I got cornered and I got threatened by a bunch of behemoths. You saw the video. These dim-witted Nimrods cornered me, and they held razors to my head, and most of them didn't even have hair on theirs. If you ask me, that's bullshit. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and sounds like a duck, there's a good chance it might be a duck. I'm calling bullshit because that's everything that it seemed to be. She didn't even deserve that match, but she got it, and she lost, and that's the bottom line.
Well, speaking about the proven championship that you're currently holding, this version of JR Lindsey all started with you in a ladder match for the proven championship, no?
Well, goddamn, man, don't you do your research?
Yes.
Yes, it did, man. Yes, it did. And see, this is the problem. I'm glad you brought that up, and you know why? Because when people like me bring things up, people that everyone calls the villain, and they try to use things to justify their actions, then they get called bullshit. People call bullshit on them. They say you're just making stuff up. You're using excuses. But I'm glad that someone else has a working brain where they can determine for themselves what really started all of this. I never wanted to be the bad guy. I never wanted to be the villain. I don't think I'm that much of a jackass. I got cheated. You know what's so special? What was so special to me about that ladder match?
What?
Do you understand? This title has eluded me for years. I was probably about four matches in for that title by the time I had that match. And I thought third time was gonna be the charm, but hey, fuck me. But then I got in that match. I climbed to the top of that ladder in the crowd that had my father in it and two of my best friends from high school. And you saw what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, how, after that happens to you, how do you go around looking people with a smile on your face and then telling them straight faced, I am still going to be a good person and I'm not going to let that affect me. And then put that smile back on after that. I want you to tell me, how easy do you think that would be?
I mean, I totally get it. I mean, you were kind of painted as the villain. And people kind of got upset when you actually lived up to the moniker.
To be honest with you, man, I don't even think I'm the villain. I think I'm a product of my environment.
Great.
But hey, that's what all the trouble kids say these days, ain't it?
Now that you actually have the title, the proven championship around your waist, what does that mean to you to be holding that championship, considering the journey that you had to actually get it?
What the proven championship means to me is that the prophecy has been fulfilled. Because from day one, I came into Wrestle League specifically, and I saw that title and everything that it was meant to be is what I felt like I embodied for so long. And I honestly felt like me finally winning it was long overdue. And that's not just me saying it. A lot of other people said it. I think it was finally all the stars aligning and it being the right person at the right time, at the right place, in the right ring, in the right company. And I feel like now the title is on somebody who everybody can look to and understand. If you keep it going long enough, if you keep your head in the game long enough and you keep trying, one day it's going to be your day, no matter how bad it gets. And I think despite people calling me the villain, that's the life lesson, not wrestling lesson. That's the life lesson you can learn from my journey in becoming the proven champ. Dreams do come true, even if you got to wait for it.
Was that a moment you took in the moment, or is it something that kind of sets in afterwards? Like, wow, I did this.
In that moment, nothing else mattered in the world to me. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
It was like I lost my virginity again.
Well, speaking of championships, you were also the Wrestle League Women's Champion as well. Can you tell
Yes,
us
I
about
was. Yes, I was. So here's the interesting thing about me being the women's champion. This might be a shock to you, but I was the first male superstar to win the Wrestle League Women's Championship. Can you believe that?
that? You don't say.
You know, sometimes achievements like this aren't easy to attain. And what people don't realize because they were so busy complaining and trying to understand shit is that I was on the brink of making history. And that's what I did by becoming the first male superstar to win the women's championship. I paved the way for generations of men to come after me and be able to fight for a women's championship. And do you know why that's such an important thing for me?
Why?
Because for so long we've talked about equality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And treating everyone fairly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be treated fairly. Everybody wants to preach equality, equal rights, equal fights, my brother. If we're gonna treat women the same way that we treat men and look at them the same way, and they want that same level of competition and respect, then I think it's only fair that me as a male superstar in this equal rights world get to fight them for their titles.
Well, a lot of people unfortunately did not see it your way, no?
No, they did not. But you know what's the good thing about J.R. Lindsey?
Yeah.
I couldn't give a fuck less.
But there was at least one person you might have had some feelings about, and that was Brittany Kay, who kind of took exception to you winning the women's championship, no?
All right, now here's where the story gets interesting. Me and Brittany Kay have been doing this dance for a very long time. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you did not know this, me and her are dating.
Yes.
And I feel like the problem with dating a wrestler is that sometimes you're going to be in situations where you might have to face each other. And then it becomes this thing of, I love you, but one of us got to lose. And do you believe that me being the man, I should just give it up and lay down for her and allow her to win because that's the good thing to do? Do you believe that?
Not if you're a feminist.
Yeah, I don't believe that shit either. And so that's where a lot of the problems came. She wanted me to lay down for her and just give it to her. And it's like, don't trust me. I am a giving king. I'm a very generous individual. But I couldn't do that. And because I had to make a decision that was right for us, she became selfish in that moment. She made me very disappointed. And we ended up in a situation where we had to fight. And unfortunately, I lost, but I would like to not talk about that part too much.
Well, I mean, I totally understand, the confines of the ring, competition, all of that. But why did you steal her dog?
Listen, man, have you been talking to somebody else about me?
I've had quite a few people from Wrestle League on the show, and other than Motivation Mike, not a lot of them have favorable things to say about you.
What did they say? Who did you have on here?
Well, I had Brittany on.
And what did she say?
I mean, she didn't. She had less than favorable things to say about you, but I mean, she did. She does still love you, and you are still together. I've had Bugs Moran on, Disco Ray, Seneca.
Hold on. So I see you've been running down the list. Wait, hold on. So it seems like you've done a good amount of people at Wrestle League.
Yes.
Okay. So this is my question. Why am I number like 8, 9, 10-ish, whatever double digits on your list? Why wasn't I number 1?
Because you don't interview the king first, you save the king for last. Best for last.
Did you go to college?
I did not.
I'm very shocked by that answer. That is a college graduate master's degree level answer, young man. I'm very proud of you. And I do not have a counter for that. I respect that answer. As far as my next point, the problem I have with you interviewing other people, regardless of if it's before me, because we went over that, is that you bring these assholes on here and they have nothing nice to say about me, and it just bugs me that they're given a platform to shit talk my name. Brittany K didn't come on here and tell you how she calls me Big Daddy at night. Bugs Moran, the bottom of his feet looked like mud. Disco Ray is juicy in the joints, and he's stupid. And he looks like a chia pet that came to life. And Seneca Sunshine, she's a stupid head. Who else did you bring on here?
The only one from Wrestle League, I would say Ace.
No, you didn't. You interviewed that short braid wearing bastard?
Yes, I did.
Oh, no. We can't do that, brother. I almost hung up this fucking phone, man. Why would you... Okay, look. Okay, so you didn't graduate college, or you didn't go to college. I can only assume you graduated high school, right?
I could if I wanted to.
Is that a no?
I did not.
Oh my God. Okay, you know what? This isn't even about you. But okay. All right. So I have this little thing at home in my dresser called a high school diploma. It's like it's a small piece of paper, you know, about the size of a piece of notebook paper, and they got like all types of fancy borders and edges on it, and it says certificate of high school diploma completion. You know, all the fancy shit. But here's the thing, mine is real. Like I have a 100% authentic high school diploma. I don't know if Ace told you this. I'm sure he didn't. The place that he got his high school diplomas from are the same place you can buy 4 for $4s and strawberry lemonades. You see where the math is coming in now? They make cheeseburgers and fries and saucy nuggets where he got his diploma from. The dude, he's a shithead. He's a dummy. His head looks like a chicken nugget. This kid isn't operating with a functional brain, and it's very clear.
Well, maybe have a, feeling, all these individuals have said, not favorable things about you. Obviously, this is a platform for people to speak their truth. And, having had all those people say all these bad things about you, another good reason to go on the time that you have is now that you can actually defend yourself without, the next person, saying something negative about you.
Oh, you goddamn right. And I have a lot to say, brother. What did Ace's nugget head ass say about me?
He had a lot of negative things to say about you. Definitely not favorable. And I would, it kind of was mostly about that, that cage match that you had, 2 months ago, I believe.
And what did he say about the cage match?
I mean, I'm sorry, but he beat you.
What? What did you just say?
I said I'm sorry, but it's not my words, but he beat you in that cage match.
Oh my God, and you said it again. God damn it. Listen. I didn't come on here to get disrespected, okay?
I mean, you asked.
Okay, wait, hold on. You gave me this time tonight. I gave you this time tonight. This is my first time on this show, and I thought, okay, he seems like a respectable person. He's done some less than favorable interviews with a couple dickheads I don't like, a couple dummies, but he seems like a cool person overall. And then we start talking, and then you start telling me about some of the bullshit that these people come on here and say, and then you talk about that motherfucker Ace. And then you have the nerve to say out your mouth that he beat me. Even if those are his words. What's your name?
James.
Even if those were his words, James, it's bullshit. And do you know why, James?
Why?
Did you watch the match?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it ain't going to be hard staying the lead lane in this plane. You saw what happened at the end, right?
Yes, I'm aware of what happened at the end.
Okay. What happened at the end?
Some might say that there was some controversy with somebody that was not legal in the match.
I wouldn't even. Controversy is putting it light, brother. I would say flat out poppycock. Bullshit. Hootenanny. That dirty foot hobo bastard hobo Bugs was eliminated from the match by who?
By you, I believe.
Yes, you're goddamn right. I speared him out of his damn boots. And guess what? He was eliminated. The ref counted 1, 2, 3. And yes, he did it that slow too, but that's another discussion for another day. So he should have been kicked out of that cage. And then you saw what happened after that, right?
Yes.
I picked up my belt, and I was finna give that little asshole the whooping that his daddy, who was also in the crowd, should have gave him a long time ago. And then that motherfucker smacked me. And at that point, that's when I realized, okay, this might be a problem too much for a belt to handle. That might be the disconnect between him and his father. He's past the point of whoopings, James. This is when I realized, oh, all right, I got to put my hands on this jackass. I got to rock his jaw a little bit. So I put my belt down. And what happened, James?
Bugs got involved in the match.
Wait, no, before that, right before that.
Oh, I think I might be blanking on that part.
Oh, you got to do your research, James. I threw my belt down. I stood up, and he got in my face, and I rocked his goddamn jaw, and he flew back and fell down because he's not ready to deal with this power. His hands are too short to box with God. And he found that out the hard way. That young man was about to get humbled. And then this is where the favorite part of the match comes in. Dirty Foot Bugs picks up a chair, hits me in the back, even though he's supposed to be out the fucking cage by now. And then Ace takes advantage, and then he hit me with my own move. And then you know what happened after that, James?
I do. We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Listen, James. He's a very terrible person. He's the type of person that has to use controversy to win matches. He can't. The problem with people like him, James, is they go into matches and they have help, and then they win by all these different types of flukes and controversy, and then they try to cover it at the end and be like, oh, well, all that matters is that my hand was raised at the end. The other person got pinned. So that's all that matters, is that I won. It doesn't matter that I struggled to do it or that I had help. They don't think about none of that shit. Or they're just so clouded in their head and they can't get their head out of their own ass that they don't realize they couldn't have done it fair and square. So they just try to brag and boast their fucking egos on the fact that they won at the end. And then they do all that mama about, well, my hand was raised at the end and the other guy got pinned, so I won. That's all that matters. That's why I can't stand people like him, because he thinks he beat me fair and square. I could never brag about beating somebody with help and struggling.
Needless to say, your issues with Ace and the rest of the Lethal Injection crew is far from over, no?
It'll never be over.
So this is a forever rivalry.
James, do you think you see what happened when I got screwed out of a ladder match for a championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I had no personal connection to it in the sense of it being like a blood feud.
Yes.
A lot of those people I had only had maybe like one or two matches with. Maybe some of them I had never even wrestled before at that point. And you know, at that point I hadn't had that many matches in the Homewood Auditorium, so I wasn't as connected to parts of the match except the title. Everything else was just kind of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now with this match, there are several people in this match that I've had multiple matches with. Donovan Lowe, I don't know if you know this, they call him Smoochie.
Yes.
He's in that match. He was also in the match where they brought back the Proven Championship after years of it being away. And he also played part of the reason that I got screwed out of that match, where Disco Ray won it originally. Then you have an asshole like Joey Mack, who can't even find a good barber to take care of that bullshit on the top of his head. He's another person. I don't like the guy. I don't like his ego. I don't like his attitude. I don't like him. We've thrown down a few times. And then you got people like Leo Black. And I don't like his mustache. He needs to trim it. It's too thick. You can't trust a guy with a mustache like that, man. If I can't see your lip, then I know I'll never see your heart. And I know I can't trust you. So he needs to shave that bushy ass mustache. And then you have Hobo Bugs, who probably showers maybe once a year.
That might actually be accurate.
And then you have, I hate to even put this on his name, but I guess I had to save the best for last. And then you have that disrespectful young man, Ace. When I tell you I've never experienced such disrespect in my life, James, coming from someone who's still on the come up, a rookie who wants an opportunity, who wants to step in the ring with greatness, but is going about it in all the wrong ways. Bruh, like the match, like, whew, breathe, JR, breathe. The match was very special, James, because not only do I have all of these things going on with every member of this team, but then we wrestled in Lincoln Hall several times. I wrestled on the show where we debuted at that venue. And once again, my father being in that crowd, instructors from my school were in that crowd. So things were a little more personal than the ladder match where I got screwed. And imagine all of that going on, and then you get fucked over at the end.
Right.
James, at that point, they might as well have put a condom on, bent me over, and said, "Get ready," because I got fucked over, James, in front of everybody.
Well, like I said at the top, the ladder match became a new version of JR Lindsey that, we've seen now. It kind of seems like this cage match might be creating a new evolution of JR Lindsey. Would you say that?
Yes, I think that's accurate. And you know what came from that?
What?
BTA. You officially saw the inauguration of the BTA movement being led by yours truly. You saw I was handing out spankings in that match, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the evolution of JR Lindsey. First, I had to get fucked over to realize how cruel the world could be. And I became the JR that I needed to be to save myself, because I didn't have any heroes looking after me, because they were all gone and left for their own selfish reasons. And now this match changed me, because now I realize how important whoopings are in the wrestling world. And I know I said that Ace is past the point of whoopings, but that doesn't mean them other assholes on his team aren't. Donovan Lowe, I can guarantee you, when he got whooped, that was the first time he had been whooped in years. You can tell a lot by somebody's behavior, and it really gives you a clear picture of when the last time they got a good old-fashioned ass whooping with old reliable.
I gotcha.
And I don't like the way that they act. I think if you hand out more whoopings, then you're going to get less trouble. And I've had a lot of problems out of them, James. So you know what that means?
What?
I need to hand out a lot of whoopings.
Well, luckily you don't have to do that alone. You do have help. The JROTC.
Yes.
Tell us
Yes.
about your relationship with the members of your group.
Just listen, James. I love those boys with all my heart. Those are a bunch of promising young talent up and on the up and coming that are actually going about things the right way, that are putting the time in and putting the hustle in. You got formerly known as the right-hand man, who has now become literal black excellence, royalty in its purest form, J Biv. And then you have our new recruit, who's been putting in work like he's been here for 5 years, and he's only on his first stint, DJ Thrax, known as the Headhunter, my personal assassin. And then you have Elvis Andre, the Reaper, the quiet the one you don't know about until it's too late. And in a faraway land right now, working on his martial arts skills, planning to come back only at the right time, Elijah Kilbane, the Enforcer. I've put together a militia, James. We are the new regime, and we are Wrestle League's biggest threat. And you need to have your eyes on these individuals right now before the rest of the world does.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but Kindle Fire was a part of the OTC as well, no?
Yes, Mr. Broadway joined us, and he was an honorary soldier for the time being.
Okay, so honorary, not a full-fledged member.
Nothing has been confirmed, but there is a loose relationship that exists right now, James.
Gotcha. Well, you mentioned DJ Drax.
Thrax, get his name right, James. DJ Thrax.
Drax.
Thrax.
Drax.
Yes, do not mispronounce his name, please.
Yes. What did you see in him to be, the newest member of the JROTC?
I saw a lot of untapped potential. I saw a lot of talent. I saw brains. I saw muscle. I saw power. I saw strength. I saw capability, James. Give a year from now, DJ Thrax is going to be a household name. And do you know why I say that, James?
What?
1 year ago, J Biv, the name J Biv, was a foreign concept to a lot of people. 1 year later, the name J Biv is ringing a lot of bells right now because of the work that young man has put in to make a name for himself, James. So when I make these predictions and I tell you, give it 1 year, and this time around, we're having this conversation next year, this person will have done a lot of work for you to know who they are. It's happened once with J Biv, and it's going to happen again with DJ Thrax. There's a lot of work to do, James.
Okay. And I mean, like you said, the rivalry between you and Lethal Jackson is never going away. So the work never goes away as well.
No, it does not. The work is never done.
Right.
If you get into this business and you feel like your work is done, you might as well leave your boots in the ring next time you have a shit match and then just walk away. Because the greats operate on the work is never done mentality. That's what makes them great. They're always trying to improve.
Now, we mentioned, Brittany K, issues, smooth things over, in a good place now. But there was a time when you actually had to move in with Disco Ray. No?
Oh my gosh, that was the worst time of my life, James.
I mean, why did you move in with Disco Ray to begin with?
Listen, sometimes when you're in relationships, things happen. Sometimes arguments happen. Things get said, feelings get hurt. One thing leads to another, and you're past the point of sleeping on the couch. Now you're being told to find somewhere else to find home for the night. And then after that goes on for so long, it becomes a thing of, well, just find a new place to live. And at the time, Brittany K wasn't the most heartfelt person, and she was rather cold-hearted. And so, unfortunately, she put me in a situation where I needed to find housing. And even though I had every reason to hate that bastard, Disco Ray, for causing a lot of problems in my relationship to begin with, I appreciated the fact that I thought he was trying to right his wrongs, offering me housing. Little did I know, James, it was going to be everything that I didn't want in life.
You definitely did not get along during your time with him, with your stay with Disco.
No, what gave it away?
I mean, there was definitely signs.
James, he painted me like I was a bad roommate, like I was inconsiderate, like I was hard to deal with, like I was a lot to handle. Do you believe that?
I mean, some people just can't handle having roommates.
Or no, I want you to pick a side. You saw our whole little adventure living together. Who do you think was in the right and who do you think was in the wrong?
For the purpose of this interview, you were in the right.
Amen, brother. And you're not just telling me that because I'm asking you, right?
Absolutely not.
I believe that.
But, obviously there's a lot of issues between you and Disco for obvious reasons. One of those issues is that he claims that you did not pay him rent.
I shouldn't have to pay rent. You've ruined my relationship. That's your rent. He didn't realize that from the jump. When he had this whole notion and idea that I owed him money. Like, James, do you believe that love is priceless?
Yes.
Okay. So now, if love is priceless and you play a very big part in taking that away from me, you basically emptied out my bank account, man. What more do you want? You got paid. You got paid in your heartless acts. You costed me something priceless. So now when I live with you, I shouldn't have to pay nothing. You got your money. You got your money, and the wrestling world got their entertainment at my expense because we broke up and I got kicked out.
Okay, so I get where you're coming from. He may have wanted rent, but it's not, he kind of, from your perspective, he already got his rent. Maybe not in a financial sense.
Yes, he was well paid.
Do you think that this matter of rent will ever be settled?
Tell him to take me to court and kiss my ass. He ain't getting no rent money.
Okay.
And let me tell you what else, James. If Disco Ray walked in front of me right now and he would, because he likes dancing all the time. Mm-hmm. So knowing him, even if he was set on fire, he'd be shucking and jiving those hips saying, "Oh, daddy, put me out, daddy, I'm burning, daddy." I wouldn't even whip my Jiffy hammer out and piss on him, James. I would let that asshole burn.
Okay. So, issues not resolved with Disco Ray at all.
Not at all. And I tell you what, that's also a situation where they will never be resolved. And tomorrow, when I face him in this fatal 4-way, I'm gonna make sure I get rid of him for good, James.
Oh, you looking to take Disco Ray completely out of the equation?
I want to take him out of the equation, and I want to get rid of that heartbroken heathen, Jesus de Safio. I want him gone, James.
What's the issue with Jesus?
Ooh, how much time you got, brother? James, do you know Jesus de Safio, when he was the proven champ years ago, because clearly he's not now,
Right.
I was his first title defense at Lucha in the Park.
Okay.
2021. Now, fast forward 2025 Lucha in the Park. JR Lindsey and Jesus de Safio fight again for the proven championship. But you know what was just a little bit different this time, James?
He was wrestling Wrestle back then, no?
Yeah, that's one of the differences. He was wrestling Russell all time. Do you know what else was different about that match?
Killer Instinct?
That too. But here's what else was different. We were fighting again for the title, but this time the roles were reversed. And I was the champion, and he was not. And also what's different, he won that first match, but this time he did not. And something that's actually very similar between the two. I was his first title defense, and he was my first title defense. But at the end of it, I won, he lost, he cried, and then he talked about how he had his heart broken. And it's like, bro, get over it. People die every day, B. People get their heart broken every day, honey.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you've been there, and nobody was crying for you.
And oh my God, James, if you would have told me you went to college, I'd believe it. Because you're saying all the right things, James. God damn, you got a brain in that head of yours, James. There was nobody crying for me. I was the only one crying when I got fucked over. Yet somehow, when I decided to mess with other people a little bit and make life a little hard for them, because struggle builds character, all of a sudden, oh, you can't do that to Brittany. Oh, you can't do that to Seneca. Oh, you can't do that to Disco. Oh, you can't do that to Adonis. Why do people feel bad for everyone now? Where was this empathy when I got screwed over, James?
Right. They were fine with painting you as the antagonist, but again, when you actually showed how antagonizing you could be, then it became way too much. It's kind of like punching when the bully, bullies you, and then when you stand up for yourself, it becomes too much for them.
Yes, and it's like what's different now? That's what I really struggle to understand. That what's different now?
JR Lindsey is on top.
Amen. And now I don't need anybody to cry for me, James, because I'm at the top of the mountain.
Well, you have, obviously, you have a lot of issues and a lot of scores with a lot of different people, for obviously a lot of different reasons. Can you tell us why you have such a dismay for bald people?
Oh, you want to know why I hate the shiny heads?
Yes.
Okay. All right, James. It's story time.
Okay.
So you know about the birds and the bees, right?
Yes.
And you know how babies are made?
Uh-huh.
And you know how babies get circumcised, right?
Yes.
Well, some of them. I was one of those babies that happened to get circumcised, James.
Okay.
And here's the special thing about my circumcision. When I was sitting in that doctor's office crying, you know what they did, James?
What?
They grabbed the cock of the king, and they cut my skin. They cut my dick. And that shit hurts, damn it. And you know what the problem is, James?
What?
The doctor was bald.
Wow.
And so now I've taken it upon myself to reign 1,000 years of terror and punishment and dismay because they hurt me.
So because this one doctor did you dirty, everybody bald has to suffer.
Yes, James.
Okay?
Look, and see, this is another thing. This is why I love getting put in situations like this where now I can explain things because things sound crazy out of my mouth, but the logic is there so much where you can't even deny it. And to the point where like, damn, like he's actually speaking some truth. People might think it's wrong of me to take out my anger on towards that one doctor on all bald people, right?
Right.
But now let me ask you this. If you walking around one day and you get bit by a snake, and now you develop a fear of snakes, right?
Right.
Are you gonna only fear that one snake that bit you, or are you gonna be terrified of snakes in general from now on after that?
That makes perfect logical sense.
My point exactly, James. I don't know. Listen, the doctor was doing his job and he cut my dick. I don't know who else out here wants to put their hands on my shit and cut it. So I have to take them out before they can take me out. My dick's not safe around these shiny heads, James.
And unfortunately, being in Chicago, there is a lot of unsavory characters as well. So I get that.
Amen.
I mean, you even have a track, a music track about the shiny heads, no?
Yes, sir. Stream Shiny Head, Bald People Disc on all music platforms.
Can you tell us about what kind of went into that song?
James, I looked up a beat on YouTube at a family dinner, and I started writing the song that night, and I recorded it the next day.
So it's that easy for you to kind of come up with this stuff.
Yes, James, I was born to do this. I was born to wrestle. I was born to make music. I was born to design clothes. I'm a multi-generational talent, James. When you're born to do this, these things are easy. I could listen to a beat and make a song in 15 minutes. I've done it before.
Well, that will bring us to JR's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Well, I think one of my craziest so far is actually me and Brittany K were riding to a photo shoot in Milwaukee. And now, mind you, I'm literally just keeping up with the flow of traffic. Traffic is getting a little fast, so I'm just trying to keep up. And I was selected by the police of Milwaukee for speeding. They gave me a ticket, James.
Ooh.
And so now, do you understand the tone switch in the car when we have a 3-hour drive and now I have a $300 ticket that I have to pay? And then another 3-hour drive when we leave this place?
Not a nice environment to be in, no?
No, it's not. But that was one of the more I would say that was one of the more stressful road stories. Now, if we wanted to talk about crazy, James, me and Brittany K, ironically riding again, we were riding to a wrestling booking out in Memphis. And now me coming from Chicago and then her coming from the south suburbs, that's an 8-hour drive, James. So we drove 8 hours to get to Memphis. And the minute we touched down in Memphis, my truck literally breaks down.
Ooh.
And so all types of lights came on the dashboard. the truck quite literally became undrivable the moment we got to the hotel. The hotel was all types of dingy and broke down, and they made it look way better on the booking app. But when we got there in person, like the door was broken, literally half of the building was torn down. It was all bad, James. And then we found a nicer hotel, but then there's still the problem with the car, trying to figure out what's wrong with the car. What was supposed to be a 2-day weekend trip to Memphis ended up turning into a whole week, James, and we were stranded.
Damn.
And we had to buy plane tickets to fly back to Chicago, and I had to pay a car hauling service to transport my truck all the way from Memphis to the north side of Chicago to get it worked on, and then had to pay $1,000 to get everything repaired on my truck that was wrong.
Damn.
Memphis was not nice to us that weekend.
I could definitely imagine. And the policeman that gave you that ticket, I'm just wondering, was he a shiny head?
He better thank whatever God he believes in that he wasn't, James.
Gotcha. Alright. I do have to ask about the Charizard onesie.
Who told you about that?
Nobody told, but I mean, people have mentioned it, but I have seen it.
Well, first off, the thing, if you couldn't tell, because I know, like, the way I put clothes on, I just make shit look good, so you might not have been able to tell from how it looked. But that thing was quite small, James. It was a very tight fit. The thing was hugging me. I don't usually like my clothes to hug me, but the shit was hugging me. It was about 3 sizes too small. It's almost like it was meant to fit Disco Ray instead of me.
I gotcha. So was it yours, or did you just buy it? Maybe did not estimate the size difference that it may have been.
Well, what had happened was we were doing laundry that day, and I didn't have any clean clothes. And so I went in Disco's room, and for whatever reason, it was in his room. So I'm guessing maybe it was his. Otherwise, I don't know why it would have been in his room. But and it's not even Charizard. It's like an off-brand Charizard costume. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if it was his, but it was in his room. I needed some clothes, so I figured, hey, let me go see what Disco got, and that ended up being the only thing in there at the time.
Gotcha. Well, luckily, you do have your clothes of your own, and you have your own clothing brand, GSA. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, the full name of the brand is GSABYJR.
My apologies.
You're good. First started the brand back in about 2023, I believe, and the original name of the brand was just Godsend Apparel. But as I've been slowly evolving it more and more over the years, I wanted to come up with like a better name, something that would roll off the tongue, something that was also a little more personal to me. And then that's when I just clicked in my head to say GSA by JR. And so now it's become this thing where like I've evolved it into a luxury streetwear brand. And I really want to embody lifestyle clothing, graphic clothing, and just like comfortable clothing in general. And I want it to be a thing where you can get whatever you need from there, whether it be household utensils, whether it be clothes, outfits, professional wear, pajamas. I want that to be a one-stop shop. So when people think of GSA by JR, I don't want it to just be, oh, that's his wrestling merch website, because I have a lot more on there than just wrestling merch. They're actually about 95% of the brand in general is a lifestyle apparel and clothing. And then there's a section where you can find my wrestling stuff too, because just of course. But overall, I've evolved it into a lifewear brand, and I want to push it heavy because I believe in building an empire. And I do believe, James, one day GSA by JR will be a household brand and everyone will be wearing GSA.
Hell yeah. And are you designing these things yourself? Do you have a team? Like, who else is a part of GSA by JR?
Well, I've had a little help designing some things. I would say about 90% of everything you see on there was designed by me, but I do defer to get second opinions on a lot of things. So Brittany K, I can say, has helped with that a little bit. I've had some family members help with that a little bit, and overall, it very much is a team effort because having those second opinions is valuable because something I might like other people might not like, or like something that I might think specifically if I'm designing something for females to wear, something that I might think a female might like to wear, but then I'm able to go to actual females and ask them, if you saw this online and you didn't know me, would you buy this? And then they could tell me, yes, I would buy that shit as soon as I saw it, or no, you should change it because girls don't like this. So I definitely can say I have some help in that department.
What's your favorite thing that you have designed?
My favorite thing that I would do, that I say that I would do, or my favorite thing that I've designed, I would say is the GSA by JR signature series, which is the signature shirt, the signature sweatshirt, and the signature hoodie, because that has our flagship logo on it, and it's front and center. It's the first things that you see when you go on GSABYJR.com. And so I feel like that's my favorite thing because that's where everything starts. And it's like that's what represents the company at its core.
I gotcha. Is there anything upcoming that we should expect?
The website has been the website actually has gotten completely remodeled recently. And so now there's also been a lot of work done in the graphic department. So there's going to be a lot new graphic designs uploaded, and they're going to be put into this iconic collection that we're going to put on the website. So there's going to be a whole bunch of new graphic stuff coming into a whole new field, and we're going to be trying to reach a whole new audience with these type of designs because they're going to be very different from the designs that you've seen so far.
I gotcha. All right. Now, we mentioned, the disc track for the Shiny Heads, but, you are, a proper, singer, rapper, artist. Can you tell us about your music career as well?
Yes, sir. What people might not even know about me is I started working on music way before I started wrestling. And so I've actually been working on music since I was a teenager, essentially, because my cousins, my two cousins in particular, PJ the Don and Big Smooth, they were the people that got me into music, and they actually were the first people to introduce me to rap music. Because when I grew up, I would listen to other like classics and things like from my parents and stuff. But the music that I actually went out and discovered myself was mostly like rock music and that type of thing. So that's when they really like took me and put me on to the whole rap scene and everything. And then they started teach. They essentially taught me how to rap, and then we would work on music a lot. And then I started slowly building the interest in music, and then one thing led to another, and I actually wanted to start pursuing it.
And you actually, you actually come out to your own music, no?
Yes, sir. I think I've done that at every stage of my career so far through all of my different gimmicks. But right now, as your king, JR Lindsey, I come out to my song JR Flow.
I mean, that has to be, a cool moment, not just to, come out to, just an already licensed song, but to actually came out to something, tailored to you. And obviously, nobody knows you better than you, no?
Oh, not only that, it's like the feeling of hearing your voice on those speakers is like a next level feeling. Like it gets the adrenaline pumping. There's like a sense of pride there. And it's like an overall sense of achievement because it's like if the song is good enough, then you've already won the crowd over before you even come out. So it's just a rewarding feeling for me when not only the hard work that I put into wrestling has gotten me into certain spots and positions, but then also the work, the time, the blood, sweat, and tears that I put into the music world is also paying off, and I'm able to enjoy the fruits of my labor when I hear the song come on the speakers and I hear people start cheering already and going crazy. Because then what happens after that is I come out, you can see the confidence just oozing from me, and you can tell I'm walking with a "you can't tell me shit" mentality, and people love that. And then they go and stream the song, and then I can have a song that has 200 streams before that night, and then after one good show, I end up with 1,000 streams just because of people loving the song so much.
That's awesome. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you actually made the song, other songs for other wrestlers as well, no?
Yes, I have. I've made a few songs now. I've made 2 theme songs for Brittany K, being "Welcome to Brawlerville" and her most recent one, "Best One." I actually made Jesus de Safio's theme song, ironically, "Rags to Riches." I made a theme song for a wrestler based in Virginia named Irvin Legend called "Against All Odds." I got a few bangers out there, man. I've also made EJ Swanson's theme song, "Have Mercy."
Is it is it weird, like, if when you actually have to wrestle these individuals and they're actually coming out to, like, your voice?
Yes, it's a blessing and a curse because if I lose, I lost, but I'm still hearing my voice on those speakers. But it's a blessing because I'm hearing my voice on those speakers. You know what I'm saying?
Even when you lose, you win.
Yes, but it makes me hate them because it's like, if I knew you were going to do this to me, I would have never made that song for you.
What is your most favorite song? The song that you think is your best work?
Are we talking all of my songs in general or just theme songs?
Let's just say just in general.
My favorite song of all time, I would say, is "Battles on the Inside." That was a track on my Boy Meets World album back in 2021. And I would say because that was one of my early songs that like made people take me serious as a music artist. Because, like I said, I started doing music years before wrestling, but I started coming into the scene in front of people doing wrestling first. So that's what a lot of them knew me for, was the wrestling. So they thought that's all there was to me. And me knowing that I had music in the back of my pocket all of this time, it was just a matter of when I wanted to pursue it on the level where I'm putting it out there for everyone to see and judge. And so when you first coming into that type of thing, and they know you for one thing, it's gonna be hard for them to see you outside of that bubble. So it's like, oh, the wrestler guy, he's trying to make music. And they might not take it serious, they might not know what to expect. And then it's like overall my first couple songs initially made them take me serious as an artist. But I feel like that song in particular is what made them appreciate the emotion that I put into my music. Because a song like "Battles on the Inside" draws emotion out of you. If you really just sit there, put some headphones on, and then just close your eyes and listen to that song, you can really see the picture that I'm painting with that song.
And we can find that on any of the streaming services that your music is on, correct?
Yes, JR Lindsey, "Battles on the Inside." And that song is like so personal to me because it paints a picture of not being confident, but walking around with the confidence that you need. And it's like people don't see people see the work that you put in. Well, actually, no, people see the results of the work that you put in, but they don't see behind closed doors when you're struggling, when you want to quit, when you're willing, like when you're at your wits' end. They don't see those rough parts, and that's what a lot of that song talks about.
I gotcha. And I think that's a great segue into the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
Well, of course, it would have to be It would have to be some of my songs, of course. But what I would say is the top 3 songs, 2 of those would be mine, but one would be by a friend of mine who made a beautiful song that I love to this day. And it's actually my favorite song from them.
Okay.
My friend, his name is Black Da Vinci. And you could also find his music on a lot of on all streaming platforms. And he made a song called "Humble Yourself," and it's basically about be working your way up to having that confidence and giving yourself these acknowledgments of the work that you put in, you being great, and just the overall like emotional and hardworking and motivating type of song. So you definitely couldn't have a movie of J.R. Lindsey without Black Da Vinci. Humble Yourself. Now, as far as the other 2, I would definitely say Battles on the Inside by Mia's has to be on there. And I would say my song Destined for Greatness would have to be on there.
Alright. Now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays J.R. Lindsey? And you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Now that's a tough one. Who would play me? I've never thought about this one. Now, so we're talking like anybody in general, like anybody that I know,
Yeah,
or just like,
fine.
or even celebrities?
No, if you want somebody that you know, you can absolutely do that as well.
Okay. Hmm. Who would play J.R. Lindsey? You know what? I would have JBF play me.
Okay. I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have you casted, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people significant to you and your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
So I say my 3 supporting characters would be Black Da Vinci, Brittany K, and let me see. Hmm. I would say Black Da Vinci, Brittany K, and Steve Arendt.
Okay. And who would be playing these individuals?
Okay. Wow, this is a tough one, man. I think I would have Alonzo King play Black Da Vinci.
Okay.
He's a wrestler. I think. Let me see. Hmm. Um. Who would play Brittany K? Um. mm,
We could come back to it or leave it up to casting if you'd prefer.
Yeah, okay, because I'm having a hard time figuring out who would play them, but I can say those would probably be the supporting characters.
More than fine. This is definitely sounding like a great movie. A blockbuster to say the least. And you could pre-order the tickets now.
Oh yeah, I like the sound of that, brother.
Now onto a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your
I
stance?
love it. I love it.
So, very pro pineapple on pizza.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, I want extra pineapple, and I want quadruple pepperoni. Listen, James. Are you listening?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to be able to see a piece of cheese on that fucking slice. Slap a whole pack of pepperoni and empty a can of pineapples and close the door and close the blinds because even God won't want to see what I'll do to that pizza.
Okay. Very pro pineapple on pizza. What's your spirit Pokemon?
Infernape.
Okay.
I've been waiting to be asked that question my whole life, James. Infernape is the greatest Pokemon of all time. Easily my favorite.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one in Smash Brothers now.
I think Lucario's in Smash Brothers and Greninja. I don't know if Infernape is in there.
I think that they added Infernape, but yeah, definitely a solid pick for sure.
Yes.
Now, we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Thug? THUG.
Is it truly humbled under God?
It is not. Would you like me to spell it out for you?
Yes.
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail, 'cause a thug can't spell.
Oh wow. Okay, well I guess Ace is a thug then because I don't believe he can spell.
Well, we love the late great Tracy Smothers, trying to keep the memory alive on the show.
I appreciate that, man. I'll tell you what. If you took a geometry book and put it in front of Ace, you know on cartoons how like question marks pop up on their head to show that they're visibly confused?
Yes.
You probably see like 5 of those shits if you showed him anything educational.
Gotcha. Alright. Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
Yes, I would. Absolutely. And you know why?
Why?
Because when I pin it, it can't kick out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, just for context, there is a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
It took him 15 minutes and 2 weeks to beat a Rock?
No, well, like 15 minutes of it was actually televised, and like maybe the last 15 minutes, but the rest was obviously the rest of the match. They could not record a whole match for 2 weeks. That would be a ridiculous amount of gigabytes.
So it took him 2 weeks to beat a Rock?
Nobody said that he beat The Rock.
Well, I certainly hope he didn't lose.
Well, technically they tied. It was 319 to 319, but The Rock was the heavyweight champion. So because they tied, the Rock retained. So technically he lost.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I would have beat that Rock in 5 seconds.
I mean, he was too exhausted. He had just wrestled for 2 weeks.
No. Something like that I could get done in 5 seconds. I tied my record in bed with the way I beat that Rock.
On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
You know, that's a good question. In 5 years, I see myself getting paid a very good amount of getting paid a very good amount of money to wrestle in front of a very good amount of people.
Okay.
That's where I see myself in 5 years. I see myself wrestling for a good chunk of change in front of a good chunk of people. I see my music career flourishing, and I see GSABYJR being a household name and having a storefront.
Hell yeah. And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off you as a pro wrestler?
Ooh, it's another good one. Okay. Well, I would say, could I give you three?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. If you wanna know JR Lindsey off bat, then I would say you gotta look at JR Lindsey versus Brittany Kay in the fight for Gatto in 2022, I believe. 2023.
Okay.
You would have to look at JR Lindsey in the ladder match for the Proven Championship back in 2021. And you would have to look at JR Lindsey versus JR Lindsey versus Disco Ray for the Proven Championship.
Okay. I believe you could find the Brittany Kay match on her YouTube, right?
Yeah, you can also find it on my YouTube. Let me get those views.
Perfect.
At JR Lindsey Wrestling for all my wrestling content on YouTube, by the way.
Are all three matches on your YouTube?
Yes, sir. 90% of my matches are on YouTube.
Perfect.
I try to make sure I stay on top of my content for my fans.
And you don't have to go looking for them. I will put the links to those matches in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox. For anybody that hasn't seen them, want to see them, want to re-see them after this interview. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Uh-oh.
This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
Okay, so just so I understand, I gotta spit these answers out fast, right?
Yes. I mean, we would like you to say them fast, but if you want to take your time, you can as well. There really is no rules.
Okay. In other words, please don't take all fucking day.
Basically.
Got it. Let's go.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Indies or pro? Or indies or major companies involved?
Anybody.
Ooh, okay. Character-wise, I hate to give it to him, but Disco Ray.
Worst wrestler.
Sean Danger. Fuck that guy. Stupid alcoholic.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Roman Reigns.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
The Rock's theme song.
Which one?
The final boss version.
Gotcha. So Hollywood.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is
Alive and well.
we would have also accepted taste great on toast. Squash, vegetable or fruit?
Fruit.
That is correct. It is indeed a fruit. New Japan wrestler Taichi, his ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
There should be 100% trunk and 0% butt cheek.
Okay, full coverage.
Yeah.
And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No, I have not. I ain't scratched that off the bucket list yet, man.
And that is the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Thank you for having me, brother.
It was finally nice to get J.R. Lindsey to clear his name from all of the bad things that was said about him prior on the show.
I see that's the problem. There shouldn't even have to be a name clearance. You know what I'm saying? I'm the good guy.
Right.
I'm not the villain. They should have to clear their names from the way they've done me dirty all these years.
Well, now everybody could get the full picture, the full story when they follow you on social media. And where may that be?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at JR. Well, actually on Facebook as Russell Lindsey. You can find me on Instagram at JR Lindsey Wrestling for my wrestling content. And you can find me in my music content at JR Lindsey Music. Those same handles apply to YouTube at JR Lindsey Wrestling, at JR Lindsey Music. And once again, you can go to GSABYJR.com and find you something nice to wear today. We have a lot of nice items and a lot of new things coming and a lot of big announcements coming regarding GSA by JR this year. I'm going to be releasing volume 2 of my most recent album, Rock Your World. And that's going to be coming pretty soon. And overall, man, just stay on the lookout. Keep J.R. Lindsey on your minds, brother.
And you don't have to type it into your Google machines. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Buy a damn shirt. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, but on YouTube and Castbox. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on Extra and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say Wrestling With, you say entertainment, okay?
Yeah.
For our special guest, J.R. Lindsey, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling With
Entertainment!
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.